Welcome to FrazierDanger and the special second edition of Stream of Consciousness. Today I want to observe a modern advent, a modern dichotomy of two elements of emotionality. Two structures which have been based in contradiction of one another, as if the two are equal in their opposition to each other, though these elements of emotionality seem to be described as though they don't have any consistency within themselves. Any correlation, any direct correlation, that is. Which is objectively wrong. Objectively wrong. Those problems that I discuss, that I'm bringing up at the moment, those are... I guess I need to restart that anyway. Welcome to FrazierDanger's Stream of Consciousness. Today we're discussing the dichotomy of love and hate. Love and hate are well, they exist in synchrony with one another, which is in direct opposition to the modern dichotomy, the modern proposed dichotomy of hate versus love, and that love must win over hate. Love is the most insidious of all practiced virtues. Love is the most insidious of all practiced virtues because love, as a virtue, is directly capable of being misused in a fashion which promotes directly self-abuse. You see this today in Germany, where the lower middle classes are being encouraged to allow themselves to be abused by the upper classes as they bring in thousands of unwashed immigrants from the third world, where they can bring no benefit to the humanity around them, uneducated in even their own language. Yes, these are the individuals that are promoted by this dichotomy of love. These are the individuals that are allowed to come into the societies via the dichotomy of love, the understanding that love must win over hate, because somehow this hatred, which would not have existed without this love, is the ultimate problem, when in reality, the problem is the abuse that is allowed through this passageway, this tunnel, this idealism of love. It's obvious to me that the most insidious of all dichotomies, the most insidious of all logical thought processes, is in fact love, because love, as an idealism, is capable of being brought forth upon the mass population as some sort of greater good, when in fact it is the worst of all circumstances for an individual society. Unchecked love results in abuse. Universally, there is no situation which can be described in which unchecked love is a benefit to society as a whole. It must, by its very nature, be a problem for any society through which it exists, because unchecked love is, well, in and of itself, unchecked emotion. And just like hate, love, when unchecked, promotes chaos within a society, and itself gives rise to hate. Yeah, it's ironic, isn't it, that the people who are promoting love at the moment are the same ones who are actually deriving much of the population to mass hatred. You see this everywhere today. There were no Nazis a few years ago, if you might recall. Not at all. They just didn't exist. They just weren't around. They were nowhere to be found. They were absolutely fucking, well, they had no argument. They had no argument because they had no problems that they could really describe that could be countered by their ideology. And yet today you see the problem as it exists. But even as their existence comes into play, and you can see it promoted openly, you realize that love was still the more insidious of the two. Even though the hatred of the alt-right is itself a problem, and perhaps a greater problem in regards to its possibilities, and to the extent that it can mobilize a population. You find the love that was promoted is the more insidious of the two. Because that love did not tell you what it would do. While the fascists, right, the hatred, the supposed fascists, they describe to you exactly what their intentions are and tell you exactly what they're doing. They're honest. Love not only brings about hate, but is literally the inducement of society to unadulterated emotionality, and therefore seeks to betray those who would use it as a weapon. Thank you for watching. This has been FrazierDanger.